Hello everybody, I'm Harles Bitley. We are here to see some bullshit, some SJW stuff going on around here. But let's get into it. We're going to watch a little video, and it's going to be this thing. So, let's do it.
Once upon a time, a long time ago, there was something called a glass ceiling.
Was it pretty?
No, kiddo.
Hold up. What do you mean by a glass ceiling? I mean, yes, there was once a glass ceiling thing that happened with women. They couldn't even get a job. So, where are you going with this?
It wasn't pretty at all. So we smashed it.
Back in 2017, unequal opportunities and gender bias made it difficult for even the...
Hold the fuck up. Did they really just show a boardroom that had nothing but men, even though right now there are women that are in boardrooms and are on the higher paying spectrum for 2017?
The most qualified women to climb the corporate ladder, and very few made it all the way to the top. So we launched 100 by 25 with the goal of seeing 100 women CEOs of Fortune 500 companies by the year 2025. As it turned out, we saw a lot more than that. A national...
Okay, at the end, I'm going to come back and I'm actually going to look up how many women CEOs there are in Fortune 500 companies, and then see how many women CEOs there are in total.
Parental leave policy established in 2020 empowered a new generation of women to build careers while also building their families. We rang in the year 2022 with the closing of the gender wage gap.
The gender wage gap is not existent. We've already been over this. We already talked about this. Women who have the same job with the same experience and the same amount of hours make the same amount per hour, if not more. There is going to be slight deviations depending on seniority and whatever for how long you've been in that company in particular, but of course, I digress. Let's continue.
Can you say equity? Equity.
Equity.
Hold up. Why are you teaching a little child, a little baby that can't even fucking speak yet about this shit? Why?
Isn't it great we don't have to do executive work for secretarial pay anymore?
And we don't get told to smile either.
What? You get paid to do secretary work. And you do secretary work if you are a secretary. That doesn't matter if you're a man or a female. That goes for both.
Just a few years later, women business leaders launched corporate mentoring programs to support young female employees. And 63% of Harvard Business School's entering class were women. In the year 2025, we celebrate 110 female CEOs.
They do realize it's 2017 right now. Why don't we talk about the progress that has gone on since, women were allowed to start working to begin with? At one point, women weren't even able to work. And then World War II happened, and women started getting into jobs and into things. And then we had the women's rights movement, where we were allowing women to work in all fields with equal pay.
CEOs, and the resulting seismic shift in corporate culture.
Mommy, do daddies get to run companies too?
And this is the kind of future you want? You don't want equality? You want it to where your daughters and your kids actually think that their dads can't even be running a company of any sort? Is this the kind of society that you want in the future? Do you want it to be where women are the ones in power and there is no equality. Women right now are in politics. Women right now are in CEOs. Women right now, there are some billionaire women. There's plenty of millionaire women. Why is this an issue? Let's continue.
With women at the helm, companies are more diverse, more equitable, and yes, more profitable.
What? You're saying that men are bad at what they do? Is that what you're saying right now? You're saying that women somehow are going to suddenly make it to where the populace wants to buy certain things more than other companies? Like, what the fuck?
Because equality is good business.
I need someone to check inventory.
Violet's playing corporate boardroom again.
Mr. Bear, did you see the annual report?
Again, why do you have children doing this? Children should be out playing and playing sports and playing things that are, fun and exciting to them, not to where they are out doing this at children ages. I know there's some that do this right now, and it goes for men and women. But
once upon a time, women made up nearly half of the workforce, but less than 5% of CEOs of Fortune 500 companies.
So you're saying that right now women make up more than half of the workforce, and that's what you're saying for 2017, but yet this is still a problem to you. Because CEOs. Have you ever thought that maybe it's because women want to be stay-at-home moms or, have part-time jobs instead? So they still make up half of the workforce, but yet they don't do half of the work? Have you ever thought that maybe they don't do as many hours just because they don't want to? This is called choice. This is what women fought for, the choice to do so. But now you're trying to make it to where women don't have a choice and to where you want them to only go out and work. But where's the equality here? Where's the freedom to do this?
Not anymore. Now we run the world. It's a pretty good story, isn't it?
No, it's not a good story.
If you want to tell it to your daughter one day, share this video to inspire others. Make your voice heard. Because change comes by speaking up, by working hard and dreaming big, by building the ladders you want to climb.
Okay, this is inspirational for anybody, men and women. Yes, you as a person have the choice to climb the corporate ladders and to be able to become CEOs, business owners, and etc. To do whatever you want. You have that power. You have that choice. You can work your ass off, man or woman, to go out and do what you want. The only thing is that women oftentimes don't want to. Yes, women do want to make enough money. Women do want to do this. But at the same time, they also don't want to do all the hours of work. Is that what you're saying? Let's see what else they have to say. Is there anything else? Okay, it seems that would be it. But let's see. How many women CEOs? Women currently hold 5.4% of Fortune 500 CEO roles. Total. I don't want Fortune 500 CEOs. I want any CEOs. And let's just see. Let's see, where is this? Annual salary, under CEO annual salary. 7% are there. 43% are at 100 to 250,000 for a CEO. All right. Okay, so we got 1,733,000 people are CEOs, and that's out of what, 400 million for the United States. Most of them are Republic, some are Democratic. Decline to give anything. There's your motivation right here. Motivation, financial independence, and cited demand for specific product or service. All right. Almost 50% are just a bachelor's, and 25% are masters, and some are PhDs. That means the other ones don't even have a degree. Probably. 50% are 4.9 million. All right, that's not really what I'm going for. No advanced degree. There is more no advanced degrees than the rest. Okay. Let's see. Where's this? What's this? So roughly 248,000 men and women are CEOs. Do you see another problem here? Maybe there's just not a lot of CEOs per company to begin with. Like, holy fuck. And that's crazy. How many women are in the workforce? Okay, so we have 123 million. That's 58.6% were labor force participants. And that's only 58.6% of their population is in the workforce. 47% of the United States total. All right. How many men? Men not at work. I don't get an immediate thing like this. Ratio of female to male workers percent. And of course, I'm just trying to look at the United States of America here. Let's see. Where's the United States? Now, not really sure what this means, though. Where? See, this is my problem right now, is that I can't find. It's exact same question, and I just changed women to men, and I cannot come up with the same statistics of how many percentage and how many whatever are in the workforce for men. Is it because it's lower, or is it what? What's the reason? Anyway, I digress. Let's get back to this. I don't agree with this video in many ways because it is suggesting that women are going to be the ones that have priority over CEOs and over the labor force here in the future, and that they are wanting to have full absolute control instead of equality like feminism supposedly says. Isn't that the whole point of feminism, is equality? That's my whole thing. They should be striving for 50% all across the board instead of whatever. And would I like to see more women CEOs? Probably. Will we get them? Probably not. Unfortunately, women just don't want to be in the workforce at nearly as much as men do, as far as when it comes to giant corporations like this, as far as business owners and becoming a CEO. They don't have the drive for it. And maybe in the future, when we don't have to raise our kids exactly right on top of them all the time, maybe we can. Or if we can just achieve it by working a basic 8 to 5 job. The reason why so many men get into the workforce is because they're working extra overtime, 12, 14 hours a day, working their asses off to even get noticed on their board. And once they are, they can finally start their work towards it. And even then, they are still working insane amounts of hours, not spending enough time with their families if they have one. While women have a desire to spend more time with their family and usually go home to when their kids are getting home from school and such. So this really puts a damper on their progression. And I'm saying maybe at some point we can have 50% stay-at-home moms and stay-at-home dads. So we would have this, or have 50% of the men do what we are doing now, currently, where the men would be getting home at the same time the children are, and the woman is the one doing all the overtime. But that all depends on personal choice. Women fought hard to have freedom of choice, whether they wanted to work or whether they wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, part-time workers, etc. They worked their asses off to get this choice, and what you are trying to suggest is that they don't have a choice and that they should somehow go out and be forced to work in situations that they don't want to. Do they want that responsibility? Do they want it to the point that they will go out and do it? Again, it's up to the women. It's up to the women to have the choice. It's up to the men to have the choice. But so far, it's not looking that it's going to turn into women having that choice suddenly to go out and do it. This has been Harles with some bullshit politics shit again. So, sayonara. See you next time.